Yo, what's up guys? Welcome to today's video where we're going to be talking about how I was making over $4,000 a month as a 21-year-old. So I'm going to go through my experience, what exactly I did, how I built it up, and also what I've learned from that experience and where it's taken me. So if you're gonna enjoy this type of video, if you like this type of video, please go ahead and subscribe, like, and comment your thoughts on this and your experiences. Are there any side hustles you're doing that you started off that made you this kind of money as well? And without further ado, let's get into the video. Of course, I have my handy dandy laptop here to help me with this video. So I've got some notes down that I want to go over. They're in some certain order, tell my story about how I was doing this. So back in 2017, 2018, I was 21 at the time, and I was working as a personal trainer, and specifically a privately contracted personal trainer, meaning that I wasn't working for a commercial gym, like a big well-known gym like 24 Hour Fitness or something like that. I was working as an independent contractor, meaning I get my own clients and I'm paying rent to a facility that, hosts personal trainers and clients as well. But before this time, I was actually already working at a commercial gym, and I was there gaining experience and building clientele, which is definitely an important note when it comes to my profession at that time. So after a few years of working at a commercial gym, I moved on into doing my own personal training business or brand, I should say, and that definitely did help. So the type of business that I was doing in personal training broke down to two different parts. There was in-person training, where obviously I'm training clients in person, hands-on, interacting with them. And the other was online, where I would do like weekly calls, update their programs weekly and things like that. So it was a lot more passive, I would say, in some sense. Now, when I first started personal training privately, I definitely didn't have any clients. I had like 3 clients maybe that followed me over from my old commercial gym into where I was training at the facility at the time, which was Threshold. And I didn't have much to start off with at all, but I definitely had more than 0, which is good. And it started because I was at a commercial gym. Now, over the time span that I was doing personal training and built up my clientele, I was doing about 20-30 clients a month, and that was making me about over $4,000 a month at 21 years old. Now, at this time, I definitely thought I was doing very, very well. $4,000 a month was definitely good enough to start looking for my own place, possibly, checking out to see if maybe I could get roommates or something like that. And the vision for, moving out and living independently was a lot more there. So at that time, my whole entire income was coming from my own business of personal training, right? And I was still in college at that time as well. Now, the structure of how much I was charging clients to make $4,000 a month came up to dividing it into my 2 different types of clientele. So my online clients, I was charging about $100 a month, give or take. Could be more, could be less, depending on how much of an OG client they've been and how long they've been with me. And then my in-person clients range between $200 and $600 a month, depending on how frequent they were in their training sessions, whether they were once a week, twice a week, or 3 times a week. Now, what definitely helped me grow my clientele to 20 to 30 clients per month was starting off in a commercial gym. And I would say that if you're gonna be going into any type of business service that will be freelancing, I would try to work in a more commercial setting or like a 9-to-5 setting that will get you exposed to people, clientele, and just have a lot more experience under your belt, right? Especially if you're going for personal training, I would definitely not recommend just jumping into the fire and trying to work at a private facility with no experience of clientele ever. You're gonna have a huge learning curve, and the better learning curve you're gonna need to go through is through commercial gyms, because you're forced to already have a lot of people there and talk to a lot of people and be given clients and train a lot of clients there. And the also benefit is you get to build relationships with your clientele there, and they could follow you through. So thankfully for me, I had a few clients follow me through. Now, here's what was very important about my clients following me through. I actually had a few clients I could work really hard and focus on, even though I wasn't making much money. I mean, of those 3 clients, I was probably making only like $1,000, maybe $1,500 a month from those 3 clients. So it wasn't all that much, but at least I could focus a lot on them and get them great results. So doing so, I used those few clients, got them really good results, and started posting them on social media. And that started attracting more and more clients. And this is when I started to realize how powerful social media was in business. So when I started to realize I started picking up more clients through social media, I started to dive more into it and go all into it. So starting to post more informational content and also, client results and things like that. And to be sure to hit me up. I was posting pretty frequent on Instagram and YouTube as well. And if you even look on this YouTube channel, you used to go far back enough where you see a lot of fitness related content. Now, the advantage that I learned was that when you post on social media, you don't have to think about or worry about getting clients right away. It's about more so planting a seed into your followers so they know that, hey, this is the guy to go to for this, right? So for my case, fitness. So I kept posting over and over and over, and it basically planted a seed in everyone's head who was my followers to be like, oh, if I feel like losing weight this summer, I'm gonna hit up Kevin. Or if I wanna go do powerlifting, I'm gonna hit up Kevin. And so that's what built momentum over the months, is when I consistently posted and also gave great quality service as well. So I treated my clients like gold. I took care of them, I listened to them, and I made sure that I put them as a priority. And if you're in a service-based business or even product-based business, you always want to put customer service first. That's one of the big things I did learn. So over time, as I continued to build my social media presence and build my clientele, I was starting to make over $4,000 a month, which I was really happy with. And it started to give me the confidence I needed to be able to say, you know what, I don't need college to be able to make a living, and I know I can do this. And if I kept giving it my all, I can make even more money without a degree. And that's exactly what I did. I used the money that I was saving from my personal training job and I moved it into investing into my own business, which is what you guys know now as my Amazon FBA business, okay? So that was basically how it transitioned, because I knew that, you know what, the personal training business is cool and it's my passion, but it's not as scalable quickly as it is within our Amazon FBA business, because it's much more passive. Of course, we're not talking about Amazon FBA right now, so we're gonna save that for another time, but it did lead me to being able to have enough money to invest into more businesses like my Amazon FBA business. So that was a major thing when I started making money. So I didn't really rush about moving out. I was more invested into creating long-term income. So here are some things that I learned from this experience and how I was able to start making more money at the age of 21, all right? One major thing is that if you're gonna be making good money in college, you probably wanna consider doing any freelancing or any type of private contractor type of business. So this could be like personal training, photography, copyright, graphic design, anything in that nature. And I would recommend that you showcase your talents and your work on social media. It's definitely going to take you far and it's gonna get you recognized. And I learned that you don't have to be the best at what you do, but you should always be working towards being the best. And also, as long as people see you and recognize you on social media and you just keep posting, people are going to start recognizing you for that and then going to you for help and advice or for work or whatever, for projects. But you have to be leveraging social media. Leveraging social media, especially nowadays, is huge. It's not saturated, because I believe that a great experience is never saturated for a customer. Another important thing that I learned was the importance of customer service. If you have great customer service and you're treating people right, it can take you far and people will remember these things and start recommending you. Word of mouth is very powerful. It is definitely underrated because we have social media, but if you can combine social media and word of mouth, it really goes a long way. So make sure you take care of your people. Always prioritize customer service and being a great person, I guess, always try to do the best for the person and do the right thing. And then lastly, my next important lesson that I learned from this is invest your money. Don't feel like you have to be stuck and committed to something and that's your end all be all, right? I love fitness and I had a passion for training and working with clients and everything, but I knew that this was not the end goal, end all be all, so I accepted it. I was okay with leaving it behind me and cutting ties with it because I knew that I'm not tied to anything and I continue to evolve and doing anything I want. So I use that money to invest into other businesses. So go ahead and remember that it doesn't have to be your end all be all, but it's good to start making money and using that money to invest into other things, right? So that's what it is. So that's basically how I started making $4,000 a month when I was 21. It's definitely not a lot of money, but it was definitely a decent amount of money to get me going somewhere and transform my life into where it's at now, where I run a multiple six-figure Amazon FBA business. So that's kind of cool, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. And if you did, please like the video. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one, and go make that money. Peace.